Tell information is power.
Turn up. Sorry about that. My volume wasn't on, but it's on now. Peace to everybody out there in the audience. I thank you for being here tonight. Let me see. We got Marlo's music channel in there. We got Deborah, Catch by Faith. Wonderful sister. Make sure you all subscribe to that sister. We got Be the Difference Clothing in the house. Make sure you subscribe to that sister as well. Let me see who else is in here tonight. We got Kendricks come through. So, what's up? What's going on with you, brother? Good to see you. Fashion for Life is in the house. And Back to the Basics. And I'll be checking for folks that come in as they do. Over 50 is in the house. By a Herent is in the house. I'm bad with names. But Brother Earl Owens, Sweet Pea is in the house. What's going on, Sweet Pea? Everybody that's come in, I appreciate it. Africa First News Channel is in the house. We got St. Louis Natural Hair Expo in the house. And we got Love Smooches in the house. Thank you for being here, sister. I just wanted to read off some of the details there and of people that have just come into the house. And I appreciate you all that are here in the building. The Information Man show is live in effect tonight. And let me say what I was saying before my volume was still turned off. And I was literally talking, thinking that I was talking and you all could hear me. Let me get ready to get into that dialogue right now. But let's do a test, everybody. Let me know if my sound, my audio is sounding nice and there's no distortion by putting either a 1 in the chat room or putting yes in the chat room. Let's get the algorithms going here, folks. That's a little trick to get your algorithms going, too. Participation with audience is always important. Okay, Marlo's music channel is saying everything sounds good. We got Ricardo, who's just come in the house. Peace to you, brother. We got Christian in real life is in the house. Sugar Love, AC is in the house. So everything sounds fine. Now, let's go at it now. Now, this is what I want to say before I get into this. Barack Obama had an interview on the Breakfast Club. And they asked him various questions about what he has done for the black community, whether the Democratic Party owes the black community a debt because the Democratic Party was put over the top by the black community in this country, in this election. And I'm going to put the numbers up so I can back anything up I say tonight. Barack had made some statements about he somehow decreased black men being in jail. He said that he sort of improved poverty amongst black people. I've got the numbers. He was not being very honest. And I'm going to be fair here. I realized when Barack Obama came into office, he came in with doo-doo on his pants. What do I mean by that? The previous administration under George Bush Jr. had put this country into the cliff. They had put the car, as Obama said, in the cliff, and it caused us to go into a recession, a bad recession. And as a result, Obama came into office, and he came into office dealing with what we know as one of the worst economies that anyone could come into office under. So I would admit the country was in bad shape when he came into office, and his administration had to do something about getting the car off the cliff. One of the things that he did is he gave the banks, he had to give the banks a bailout. The banks got a bailout because that was originally George Bush Jr. who gave the banks the first bailouts. When Obama got into office, he simply had to continue the policies of the first administration. What people often don't realize is that when you come into the presidency in your first year, you are often operating off of the budget or system of the first administration when you come in. So he came into a situation that was terrible, that was bad. I'll give him all of that. But he served 2 terms, and during that period of time when he served his 2 terms, we had a situation in this country where the economy was starting to get better. And what we do know, and you can look these statistics up, is that the top 10% to 1% got very wealthy under the Obama administration, while black wealth began to take a big decline. Now, tonight,
tell the truth.
This is about telling truth. I know there are those out there who don't like me doing a video because we want to hold Obama up as a sacred cow, so to speak. Or at least some people would like to. That's when he didn't have any gray hair, a younger Obama. And as you notice, the presidency took toll on him. It took a toll on Obama. He aged, hair got grayed. But like you, everybody in the chat room who was excited when this man got elected, because we called him the first black president. We called him the first black president when many of you don't realize that Obama is not the first black president. It is Brother Joe Hansen. Go, and I wish I would have had his picture up for this one. Go and look up John Hansen. Not Joe, John Hansen. John Hansen is in the back of the $2 bill. You can't really see him that well. He's sitting amongst other white men in the government buildings, the government assembly. And John Hansen, some say that he was the first president even before George Washington, before the country formed itself into the United States of America. Go do your research about a brother by the name of John Hansen. It was not Barack Obama who was the first black president. Do your damn research.
Tell the truth.
And I'm sure there's people in the chat room right now that know what I'm talking about. What I need you to do is do the research. Now, like you, like many of you, I was very excited when Obama got into office, because we had a lot of hopes and dreams in this man. We felt for the first time we had someone in the White House that looked like us, identified with us. We felt that we would have someone that would put forth a black agenda. I'll repeat that again, a black agenda. We thought we were going to get a black agenda out of Barack Obama. We thought that he would do something that would be tailored to black people in America. Other groups, when they ask for something, they pretty much get what they want. I'm going to show you what those groups are. The Latinos were able to get the DACA situation where they would not be, deported from the country. People who live the alternative lifestyle of the LGBTQ, they sort of got some of what they wanted from their agenda out of Obama. Even the Jewish community got what they wanted from Obama. The Native American community got what they wanted from Obama. And when I said what they got tangibles that were directly policies that were tailored towards their issues. Most of what black people got under Obama was trickle-down politics, meaning if I rise all ties, if I help this group and that group, somehow it will benefit black people. It's basically the same thing that Biden and Kamala Harris are going to push down, the same thing they're going to push towards us. And the Democratic Party right now, knowing that they're getting a lot of pushback about this issue of black agenda, they're using new terms now. They're using racial justice. They're saying slick things like, oh, if we take care of student loans, that's a racial justice issue for black people. We deal with climate issues. That's a black agenda for black people. So they're using that word racial justice in a very slick manner, and you need to be aware of that slickness that is coming out of the Democratic administration that will be going into office as soon as Donald Trump can get his behind out of office come January the 20th. So I'm going to play you an audio. I got a lot to cover tonight, so I need people get your drink, get your popcorn, get your soda pop, your beer, your wine, whatever, because I'm going to go through this very step by step, not rushing through this, step by step. And I want to put this picture up. How many of you all remember this picture right here of Obama when he first came on the scene and everybody was mesmerized by him? And that is the Hope's picture. Keep hope alive. Jesse Jackson style, right? So Obama, when you manipulate people, this is what politicians do. This is part of the political game, is you come up with slogans that will get at the heart of people's issues and concerns. You use fancy slogans that will somehow resonate with people and their issues. So he had a lot of good slogans like "Yes, we can." I mean, I remember you all heard that. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
And we also heard Obama say, "Yes, we can" again.
Yes, we can.
And we know that Obama used a lot of heavy messaging about hope and a word called change, right?
This is Barack Obama. You're listening to Information, man. Don't forget to subscribe.
So he used a lot of those words that got to our heart, got into our minds, souls, and spirit. And some of us really brought into it. We believed it. We said, hey, this is going to be great. And come on, let's do a test here in the chat room. When Obama got elected into office, how many of you shedded tears, you cried, you danced in the streets, you twerked, you whopped, whatever we're doing these days? Come on, let's be honest. Put a 1 in the chat room or say yes. Let's be honest, because when he got into office, I certainly was emotional, because most of us never thought that we would see a black man or a black woman or a black family in the White House, which, by the way, the White House was built by slaves, black people. So when we talk about black people built this country, oh, yes, we did. That White House, that government building that sits in Washington, D.C. on Pennsylvania Avenue, black people built that, black slaves. And I know people are going to say, well, what about the Chinese? They built the railroads. That's BS. Black people built most of the railroads in this country. When they brought the Chinese over, they basically finished up the loose ends. We were the ones that built it all for free under slavery. The Chinese came over here. They got paid for their labor. They built some of the railroad in the western part of the country. By the time they came over here and started working on the railroad, most of the railroad system was built in this country. It was in the western hemisphere of the country where they were still putting things together. But never doubt the knowledge. Black people were the ones that laid the foundation of those tracks down in this country. We have built this country. We have built the White House. We have built many things in which this country lays on. This country owes the clock to a black man, Benjamin Banneker. This country, you wouldn't even have the layout in Washington, D.C. without Benjamin Banneker, a black man who designed that layout. I had to go on a tangent there because I had to keep it real with everybody. So how many of you in the chat room, what's going on, Little Rock 2517, glad to see you here. Trust nothing, question everything, peace to you. Miss Thompson, thank you, sister, for being here. I do recognize you were here the other day when I was talking to the beautiful sister Eileen Smith, and I need y'all to subscribe to Eileen Smith. She'll give you all the information you need to know about how to use your social media, how to build your channel. Give that sister your support. And then we got Raza that came in the house. What's going on, Brother Raza? I was talking to him earlier today on Brother Max's channel. And we got Real Aaron Collins is in the house. Deborah, check that sister out. Deborah, by faith, that sister is dynamite. I need y'all to give her support as well. Let me bring this up. I'm going to say this again. How many of you in the chat room right now shedded a tear, you cried when Obama got into office? How many of you cried? How many of you danced? How many of you guys prayed to Jesus that he would win the election? How many of y'all hooped and hollered and said, thank you, Lord Jesus? How many?
Tell the truth.
Come on, we're going to vote. Be honest. Put a yes if you were exuberantly happy about his election. Come on now, put a 1 or a yes. Come on. I don't see enough ones, and I don't see enough people responding to my question. Because don't be afraid, because I can say I shedded a tear. I can say I danced on the couch. I did a jig. Thank you, everybody. I did a jig. Yes, there's nothing wrong with admitting that that was an emotional time for you, because that was an emotional time for many Americans in this country. For many Americans in this country. Let me also go ahead and bring up this issue. The man who started this phenomena before Obama, like I said, look into John Hanson, who some say was the first president, black man to be president of this hemisphere. John Hanson. Look it up. Let's not forget Jesse Jackson, messy Jesse Jackson. Come on now, folks. Let's give Jesse Jackson a hand here.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Oh, yes, messy Jesse Jackson. So Jesse Jackson, he's the architect to a certain degree, because he ran for president in 84 and 1988. Some of you millennials probably don't remember this. I'm old enough to remember this. And people were very excited about Jesse Jackson running for office at this time. People were very exuberant about this brother. I know I was. And Jesse Jackson, as you can see there, in 1984, Jesse Jackson runs for the White House and the rise of the black vote. Run, Jesse, run, Jesse, run was the slogan that many of us said. Y'all remember that? Run, Jesse, run. And what did Jesse say to us, just like Obama? What did he say to us? He said, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive, ladies and gentlemen. So Obama took a page right from Jesse Jackson with using those highfalutin slogans that get into your emotions. And people know this, ladies and gentlemen, because they know that black people are highly emotional. Former Vice President Walter Mondale, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and Senator Gary Hart. Remember, Gary Hart got himself caught up in a situation where he took some very questionable pictures with some females on some boat or something, or a female, and that basically knocked him way out of the race. I'm giving you history here. Gary Hart, they held hands during the Democratic presidential debate in New York, 1984. And remember, Jesse Jackson was best known for what? Keep hope alive.
Tell the truth.
Keep hope
Tell the truth.
alive. Keep hope alive.
Tell the truth.
Oh, messy Jesse Jackson. He told us to keep hope alive, and a lot of us said, let's keep it alive. We believed in Jesse Jackson. We voted for him in high numbers. He did not get the 1984 nomination, but then he turned around back in what? 1988. 1988, I think I was just coming out of high school at that moment. Jesse mounts a serious challenge, but a loss in one state in the quest. The message is translating barriers, breaking down barriers. Whites all over the country have opened their hearts to me, the candidate said. That's what Jesse Jackson said. He said that white folks opened their hearts to, well, if they would have opened their hearts to you, brother, you would have won the goddamn nomination. Okay? Can I get a witness?
Tell the truth.
Can I get a witness? We got Christian in real life. Thank you for being here, Sister Kendrick. We got Sister BT in the house, RY in the house, back to the basics, the real Aaron Collin. Love you all for being here tonight. I know you could be somewhere else. So that was what Jesse Jackson did. That was a foundation amongst many people who felt that it was the Jesse Jackson Foundation that made it possible for Barack Hussein Obama to move himself into a situation in which he became president of these United States of America. Okay? Now, let's not forget something else. A lot of this conversation that he had with the Breakfast Club was primarily because of his new book that he has out. And in this new book, he is pretty much giving his memoirs as to what it was like being in the White House, some of the things that he had to deal with, And once again, I'm going to be fair here, because when Obama got into office, you had a lot of the Republican Party that said that they would not work with him, even though he put the olive branch of trying to say he would work with him, which I believe was Obama's biggest mistake. One of his biggest mistakes was thinking that he could work with the Republican Party because they said they were not going to work with him. But he put the olive branch out and they slapped it every time. And that's why Obama had to put all these executive orders out, right? So Obama believed in this system. Now, he had people thinking that he was this sort of real far left candidate. But Obama was more of a moderate Democrat. He was more in the middle, just like y'all's first black president that y'all claim was black, which was Bill Clinton. And that was very, very laughable, to say the least. Very laughable. So Obama went on the Breakfast Club and said a few things pertaining to his book and his experience in the White House. And what I want to do is I simply want to get into that right now and let you hear some of that interview. You're not going to hear, I'm not playing the whole 50 or 60-minute interview. I've cut the excerpts that were necessary for this video tonight. Now, before I play that video, I need to put something else on the screen that's very important. I want you guys to look at this, and here we go. On the screen, I want you to look at the words on here. This is taken from this was created by the Rothschild family back in the 1700s. It's still relevant today. And I sort of focused on these three components of the Rothschild document, which is a 25-point plan for world domination. This is the Rothschild family who still exist. And just so you know, there's a guy named Wilbur Force, who works with Donald Trump's administration. Matter of fact, he works over commerce, over the economics. He's the commerce chairman for Donald Trump. He's the one that helped bail out Donald Trump when he lost his casino. So this talk about Donald Trump not being part of the 1% or not being an insider. No, he is an insider. He has his man in the back pocket. He has the man that helped him out, who was a member of the Rothschild family, Wilberforce. Now, on this plan, this is what we need to understand about politicians. And it does not matter your color, race, creed. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, or what have you. All politicians operate like this. First of all, politicians have to be cunning. They have to be manipulative. They have to be able to convince you of certain things. Number 11, choose candidates for public office who will be subservient and obedient to our command, so they may be readily used as a pawn in our game. You hear what I'm saying, folks?
Tell the truth.
Number 12, use the press for propaganda to control all outlets of public information while remaining in the shadows, clear of blame. Isn't that what goes on today in the United States? It was going on when Obama was in office. It was going on through Donald Trump's presidency. The media is used as propaganda, and they also manipulate us as the public. Number 13, make the masses believe they had been the prey of criminals, then restore order to appear as the savior. So when people were going out there protesting about what happened to George Floyd, you got all that going on out there. You had politicians demonizing the people out there protesting and tearing, and saying that they're criminals. Whenever black people stand up for something, when we're being oppressed, they will deem us as criminals. And then someone would come in to restore order. It'll either be the police that they send in to so-called restore order, or be some politician, or it'll be somebody who's a sellout who looks like us, who will tell us, hey, black people, don't do this. Don't protest. Please don't tear nothing up. Please, please, please. Think about what Martin would think about it. Think about what John Lewis would think. I'll get into good trouble. No, nothing wrong with getting into good trouble. So we'll have someone who looks like us to try to pacify us, to restore order. You have the police to restore order. You have a presidential candidate that will come in and try to restore order. That's how the game works, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the game works. Now, let me go into the audio here and let you hear some of the things that Obama was asked in this in the interview with the Breakfast Club, and let's hear it right now.
Every community, including our, in this book, and all that you did for every community, including our own community. Right. How do you take it when you hear, especially African Americans, minorities, say that they feel that President Barack didn't do enough for minorities, didn't do enough for black people?
Black people.
What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? I understand it, because when I got elected, there was so much excitement and hope. And I also think that we generally view the presidency as almost like a monarchy, in the sense of, well, once the president's there, he can just do whatever needs to get done. And if he's not doing it, then it must be because he didn't want to do it.
Well, we see it with Trump, so he does what he wants to do, so people assume.
Well, right, because he breaks laws.
Right.
And or disregards the Constitution. But look.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Barack says that, that's just excuses by saying, well, the president can't do whatever he wants to do. I'm going to show you today, this evening, affinitive, why what he said is wrong, because I'm going to show you in documentation what he has done for other groups. And when it came to those other groups, he didn't give this lip service of, well, the president can't do everything. People look at the presidency as some de facto king or what have you. When it comes to black people, when you ask other black people in power why they didn't do this or what did they do for us, they're always trying to give us excuses, but they don't give other people excuses for why they didn't do A, B, and C. Let's continue to hear this right now.
I think that anybody who goes into public life, they need to understand that, yeah, you're going to get criticized, because that's just the nature of it. If you don't want that, then you shouldn't be in that business. The good news for me was that I was very confident in what I had done for black folks, because I had the statistics to prove it, right? So by the time I left office, you had seen 3 million African Americans have health care that didn't have it before. You had seen the incarceration rate, the number of black folks in prison, drop for the first time in years. You had seen the juvenile correction system, 30% fewer people in there. You had seen black poverty drop to its lowest level since 1960.
That's wrong. No, I'm sorry, Barack. That is wrong, brother. That is not completely true, and I'm gonna show you all right now why he is not being honest. Like I said, you have to I don't care what race or color these politicians are. They cannot always be trusted. And here is the damn graph. If you think I'm BSing with you, this comes from the United States Census Bureau. United States Census Bureau. United States poverty rates for black people, Latino people, and white people in American society. President Obama came into office in 2008, stayed into office from 2008 through 2012, 2015, and then, of course, the Orange Man came into office after him. Now, as I said earlier in the show, I do have to admit that Obama did step into a bad economic situation after George Bush and the Republican parties put this country in the ditch. I admit that. I'm fair in my analysis. However, throughout his presidency, as the economy was starting to get better in this country, things were not going very well for black people economically. Look on this chart right here, where the highest bar, which is a darker yellow, represents where black people were. So black people were in the 25 percentile up there in 2008. Then we went almost close to we almost went close to 30% in 2012. And in 2015, it came back down a little bit over the 25 percentile there. So, and then if you see the darker orange looking color bar, which represents white people, they didn't get hurt by the Obama administration's policies whatsoever. What happened with black people is that our wealth began to shrink. Our housing ownership began to shrink badly. And I'm going to say that there was a layover from the recession brought on by George Bush and the Republican Party. But throughout the years going forward, as we came out of the recession, black people weren't doing very well. So when Barack Obama says that he somehow got black people out of poverty, that is not true. There's the chart. You can go look this up yourself on the census. The source comes from the United States Census Bureau, and you can look up these years for yourself and see that what he was saying, what Obama said, was not true. What happened to a lot of black people during this time, and give me just a moment right here. I'm going to put something else up. What happened to black people during this time is, this is an article. You can look this up. It's How Obama Destroyed the Black Wealth. The nation's first African-American president was a disaster for black wealth. Let me put this up and read this to you right here as we go back to that audio. This is very important. This is, let me see here. What happened is we started with looking at the trends in wealth holdings among several portions of income spectrums from 2007, 2010, 2013, and into today. As the chart, there was a chart that I had, and what the chart says is that during the period that Obama was in office, not the 2019 period, but the 2007, 2008, all the way into 2010, 2013, all the way into 2015. Around that period, and George Bush Jr. does hold some blame for some of this too, because 2007, he was in office. 10% of the income spectrum, which saw a 27% rise in wealth, the bottom 80 lost wealth. The bottom 80% of people lost wealth, either a little or a lot, lost range from half. The looser range from half a percentage point to 70%. The majority of the people who made out very well economically under the Obama administration were the 1%, the 10%. It was the rich, the people who had money to be made in the stock market and what have you. Now, what people tend to do, ladies and gentlemen, is that they tend to associate wealth with the country doing well and wealth with the stock market. The stock market represents the 10% and the 1%. The 10% and the 1% and the people who have the money to invest in the stock market, that stock market is not reflective of the everyday working class citizen out here in the streets of America. So when you hear people saying, well, the stock market did well, look at what look at what Trump did. He made the stock market do well. The stock market does not equate to the average working person at the ground level, okay? It does not equate at all. And do me a favor, everybody, as you're listening to this program tonight, make sure that you do me the biggest favor and subscribe to the program. I definitely would appreciate that if you can do so. Let me get back over here. So definitely, let me see what I can do here. Definitely, if you can subscribe to the program, I definitely would appreciate that. But this family that you see right here, they are a victim of the fact that they lost wealth within the Obama administration. There was wealth that was lost, and that has to be admitted. That is the truth. Cannot be denied. And make sure you subscribe to the channel again. I appreciate it. So I just wanted to bring that up, and let me go back, scroll down, and I want to show you something else. Nope, I don't want to show that yet. Alrighty. Let me give me just 1 minute here. I think I've got the article that I want. And we had, let me see. Okay. That's what I wanted to show you all right there. Thank you for your patience, everybody in the chat room. Thank you for your patience. So now, Obama presidency was a disaster for middle-class wealth in the United States. Between 2007 2016, the average wealth of the bottom 99% dropped by $4,500 over the same period. The average wealth of the top 1% rose by $4.9 million. The drop hit the housing wealth of African Americans, particularly hard hit outside of their home. Equity, black wealth recovered its 2007 level by 2016, but the average black home equity was still $16,700, the lowest. Much of the decline, we argue, can be laid at the feet of President Obama. His housing policies led directly to millions of families losing their homes. Once more, Obama had the power and money and the legislative tools, because at one point in time, remember, he had the Congress and he had the Senate before things shifted over when they had the midterms, and he lost people that could. He lost the Senate, and he lost the numbers he needed, I believe, in the Congress to be able to pass any and everything that he wanted. He had a majority. He let that majority slip and let the Republicans get their people in the seats. And as a result, he had the tools and did not use those tools when he had them very leveled and sharpened to make a difference for black people when it came to the foreclosure. Now, all the corporations got a bailout, but Main Street didn't get a bailout, and black people didn't get a bailout especially. And of course, we know that there were predatory lending that was going on with banks like the Wells Fargo's bank that were ripping people off. So Obama, when he says that he helped black people out of poverty, that's just not an honest statement that he made. And this is about truth.
Tell the truth.
And I'm not going to sit up here and not let the truth be told. And let's hear the rest of this.
Had seen black businesses rise. You had seen black income go up. So I could just look at the data.
He is wrong. I just showed you all the Census Bureau documentation that showed that poverty was going up for black people. And as many of you know, black people were losing their homes left and right. Black people lost wealth. They didn't gain wealth. Obama is not being honest. He is not being honest. Let's play the rest of this clip.
I could say millions of black folks were better off at the time I left office than when I came in. And, you know,
No, black people lost wealth. Black people were in worse shape after he left office. We lost economics. We did not gain economics. We actually lost economics. He is wrong.
what I have to accept, and I think what any president has to accept, is the fact that, okay, so I got 20 million people health care, but there's still 10 million out there who don't have health care because Republicans blocked me from doing everything I wanted to do with Obamacare because some states didn't, accept Medicaid dollars, even though it wasn't going to cost them a dime, just because they wanted to oppose me. So if you're black and you're one of those 10 million who didn't get health care because they live in a state that didn't accept the money we were giving them, I can understand why they would be upset. How come things didn't change?
I think people want to know, like, what did you do specifically for black people? Not the...
See, right there, Charlemagne asked a very important question. I'm not a big fan of the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne and DJ Envy and all these folks, because normally they dance around when they talk to these candidates. They danced around with Hillary Clinton when she was sitting up there talking about hot sauce in her bag and all this sort of nonsense that does not do anything for black people. I'm specifically looking at what he did, what he did not do. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Obama didn't do anything that helped some black communities out, but I'm looking at specifically when it comes to wealth, and the fact of the matter is we lost wealth. Now, let me say something to somebody in the chat room before I have to bounce him out of this damn chat room. We've got this guy in here with the last name Production. I'm not sitting up here talking about Democrats or cheating and all of that. I'm specifically talking about Barack Obama tonight, what he did and not do for black people. I'm not getting caught up into that nonsense about the Democrats stole the election when the Republicans do the same damn thing. It's called voter suppression. You've been doing it for years. You did voter suppression on black people every time we try to vote. I know the history of the Democratic Party, or should I say the Dixiecrat Party, which was the party of the Ku Klux Klan, which, guess, by the way, that the Dixiecrat jumped from the Democratic Party right into the Republican Party and joined y'all. I'm not talking about Pelosi tonight. I can care less about Pelosi. I'm not talking about whether the Democrats stole some election. That's bull crap. You're not going to get me caught up in that nonsense argument, because both these political parties steal elections, cheat, lie, and steal. Both of these political parties ain't worth a bag of fries from McDonald's. Don't care about either one of these political parties. They're both full of junk. The Republican parties that do everything they can to cheat on elections. Anybody in here talking that crap, go jump yourself in a lake somewhere. Republicans have been cheating and trying to keep black people from voting every which way to left. I live in California. The Republican Party had the audacity to try to put voting booths up, voting boxes up that were not even legal voting boxes. So I don't want to hear that crap. Get the hell out of here with that crap. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about Barack Obama as it relates to my people. I don't want to hear that crap, that propaganda about cheating. Both of you guys cheat. Now, how you like that? How you like that? Now, let's get back to this. You see, Obama, he had to be asked again by Charlemagne, but what did you do specifically? And that's where he just doesn't have enough gravity to give us the specifics that we need. Let me go here back into the audio again and let you hear Obama as it relates to this issue again as we get close to the end of this audio.
Because we all know black people's boat got a hole in it. So the systemic things that were done to black people to put us in these positions, we need specific systemic things to get us out. So
Well,
what did you do in that regard?
what I'm saying, Charlemagne, is black poverty dropped faster than everybody else. Black incomes went up more than a lot of other folks. So, the issue is sometimes we just didn't go around, once again, advertising, or a lot of other folks. So, the issue is sometimes we just didn't go around advertising that.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there because I'm pissed off. Obama says that black people wealth went up more than other people. That's a lie. The people who got rich in this country were white men, were white people who were in the 1%. It was people who were in the 1%. So whether you are white, whether you're a rich Asian person or other race of people who are in the 1%, and a majority of that 1% is white people, they were the ones who gained more wealth, economic independence, more than anybody, and more than black people specifically. When Obama said that, he is not telling the truth. Now, for people in the chat room right now, I would like you, let's do a test right now. Let's do a survey right now. How many of you in the chat room right now, and I don't care if you disagree with me because we're all here to learn, how many of you feel that black people, honestly, be honest, tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
How many of you honestly believe that black people's wealth went up faster than anyone else's wealth when I just showed you a chart from the Census Bureau, which you can look up yourself? How many of you believe that? If you believe it, put a 1 in the chat room. If you're not sure, put a 2 in the chat room. If you do believe it, put a 3 in the chat room. So 1 if you don't believe it, if you agree that it's not true, 2 if you're not sure, and 3 if you agree that black people did gain wealth faster than anyone else during his presidency. And remember, he didn't only serve 1 term, Obama served 2 terms. Now I'm going to give you a little time to put those numbers out there so we can take a survey right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So most of the people in the chat room feel the same as I do, that there was no effectiveness in his policies when it came to black wealth. Let me put this chart back up here once more again. As you can see on the chart, that chart breaks down, and I didn't make this up. I didn't get this off no banana boat or banana tree. This comes from the U.S. Census Bureau, their own government, his own sources. This is government sources. You can go look this up yourself if you think I'm not telling the truth tonight.
Tell the truth.
You can look this up. This is not funny. It's not a joke. This is reality.
Tell the truth.
So everybody is saying 1. No, Obama is lying. 1111 says back to the basis. Nathan, let me see. Obama did his best to help he did his best to help other people. So I'm putting this in context. Yes, he came into office under bad economic circumstances. Yes, he did. I'm not going to sit up here and deny that. But he actually did more for other groups than he actually did for us. And I'm going to get to that. Let's hear some more of the audio, shall we?
Because once again, the goal here is to build coalitions where everybody is getting something so that they all feel like they've got a stake in it. But a lot of my policies were targeted towards people most in need. Those folks are disproportionately African.
I need y'all to listen to what he said again right there.
Most in need,
Let me move that back a couple of, here we go.
Around advertising that, because
Now, this is what bothers me about what he said. He said we did not go around advertising what we did for black people. Why wouldn't you not advertise, Barack, what you did for black people? Why would you not advertise that? Does that make any sense to anybody? Why would you deny your accomplishments as a president as it relates to the benefits of black people? Certainly, Donald Trump didn't have a problem with saying what he was doing for black people. Donald Trump didn't have a problem with saying that he is credited with lowering unemployment for black people. He credited himself for giving more money to the HBCUs, historical black colleges. Donald Trump didn't have any problem within his presidency beating on his chest and saying what he did for black people. Yet you never can get Barack to give a specific, tangible of what he did for black people. Now, he sat up there and told you that he decreased poverty. That's a lie. I showed you the bureau numbers, and you can look them up for yourself. He sat up there and said that he somehow got more black men out of jail. Yet, when you look, and then he talked about Ferguson a little bit later on in this interview, when the guy that killed Mike Brown, the cop, that guy is still walking around here free. Even under Obama's administration, when he had Eric Holder in there as the attorney general of this country, more black men were being harmed by cops. And Obama administration never really addressed the issue. Now, he said that they put in pre-clearances and all these different things in these precincts, but there were still police getting off. Nobody was being convicted of what they did and their harm to black men and women. Let's hear some more of this. So he admits that he did not advertise what he did for black people. That to me is a shame.
Tell the truth.
once again, the goal here is to build coalitions where everybody is getting something so that they all feel like they've got a stake in it. But a lot of my policies...
Now, listen to this right here. He says the goal is to build coalitions. Charlemagne asked him, but what about specifics for black people? And Obama is too caught up in this, well, the goal is to build coalition. No, the goal was for you to do something for black people who were pretty much the largest number of people who got you over the top, Barack, in winning the election. And all you can do is tell us that it's about you building a coalition with other groups who don't give a you-know-what about us. But every time we're asking for tangibles, we're being told it's about building coalitions with other people. When Barack did things for the gay community, when he did things for the Latino community, the Jewish community, he didn't tell those groups of people in this country, well, it's about me building coalitions, so I can't do this for you. But when it comes to us, it's about building coalitions. Listen to this nonsense.
We're targeted towards people most in need. Those folks are disproportionately African American. Now,
yes, we can.
There are some things that, for example, us having...
So basically, it's the same formula that the Democrat parties always run out. It's if we rise all boats and ties, it will trickle down to black people. So his policies were about building coalitions, and that out of those policies of building coalitions, if I create policies, it's going to eventually help black people because they are most disproportionately in poverty. And I'm sitting here and telling you, as you see on the screen, there's the numbers between Latinos and white. Okay, black people were leading throughout all these years. We were in the worst shape. We were in the worst shape, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm telling you. It's what I'm saying. Let's hear some more of the nonsense.
A civil rights division in the Justice Department that actually took seriously civil rights and imposed consent decrees on places like Ferguson, and changed sentencing guidelines so that we didn't max out on sentencing for all nonviolent drug offenses, but changed the incentives so that prosecutors were judged not by how long of a sentence you got, but did you get a proportional sentence? Was it a fair sentence? Those kinds of changes that we made, that's why I say there's a reason why the federal prison population dropped. By the way, at the same time, the crime also dropped, right? So we were able to show that you can have a smart strategy in terms of reducing crime without expanding incarceration. But
All right, this is my question to everybody in the chat room. Why is it that every time there's policies about what have you done for black people, they're always talking about criminal justice? Yes, we do have black men and black women in the criminal justice system. You have white people, you have other groups of people in that criminal justice system as well. But they always make that front and center as if we're the only ones in jail, as if that's the only thing that black people care about is just criminal justice. Yeah, we know the criminal justice system's got all kind of problems. Yes, it does. But that seems to be the typical thing that the Democrats and any political party will bring up when they talk about us, as if we don't have other issues too that we want you to bring to the forefront. I understand, black men are in prison and it needs to be dealt with, but Obama had all these years when he was in office with his Attorney General, Eric Holder, to take care of some of these things, some of these problems. And a lot of times it was not effective. Remember, Eric Holder said that America has a serious problem, that America is a coward when it comes to dealing with the issue of race. And as soon as Eric Holder said that, Obama stepped out and had to quiet Eric Holder down and not have him talk like that. So many examples of Obama where he capitulated to the Republican Party. He capitulated to being this, let me just be a silent black man. I don't want to ruffle no feathers. Even when he was in his second term, everybody kept telling us, well, give him time. He's in a first term. When he go into his second term, he won't have to worry about re-election. He didn't do a whole bunch of anything. It was the same capitulation that he continued.
The truth of the matter is, Charlemagne, at the end of the day, there is no way in 8 years to make up for 200 years.
Absolutely.
And the question is constantly, how are you going to, the way I've been describing it, because it's very much how I understand the presidency now. You're like a relay runner.
So now he's going to do something we call Negro-splain. Matter of fact, I got to be honest. He's been Negro-explaining this whole time, giving us babble, a bunch of psycho-babble. Well, you can't do everything. We already know you can't do everything in 8 years, Barack. But the question is, what did you do? Under your watch, black people saw wealth go down. They saw their access to housing go down. We saw black men and women being harmed all over this country by certain so-called legal systems. And wasn't much being done under your leadership at that time. You came up with consent decrees, but yet you got many law enforcement who did not go to jail for harming black men. You got like I said before, you have under your consent decrees in Ferguson, you have the cop that did harm to Michael Brown. He's walking around free today. Free today. I want to say peace to AC. I want to say peace to BMT, Business Minded Talk. I want to say peace to RY, Trust nothing, question everything. Peace to you. Big UNK. Kujin87, I want to say peace to you. I want to say peace to everyone who's come in listening to this broadcast tonight. Let's get back to the rest of this particular area of Barack's Babel, Psycho Bible. Here it goes with more excuses.
You're getting the baton from somebody else, and all you can do is run your stage of the race, and then you pass it on to the next person. And on either side, both who you got the hit from and who you're passing it to, they may not have the same priorities that you do. You know that you're not going to get everything done that you need to get done, but what you got to do is do your best to get as much done as possible, and I think that's what we did.
Would you say that your intention
Barack
with this
Obama.
book?
You're listening to Information Man. Don't forget to subscribe.
So let me stop that right there, as I do have another audio. And let me take that off of there. And let me put myself back on the screen here. So everybody that's in the chat room right now, do you agree with Barack Obama when he said near the end of that portion of the interview that it's about running a relay race? It's about making allies and connections with other people so that we can do something that trickle downs to black people. Did you agree with that part of Barack's Psycho Bible as it relates to that? Put a 1 in the chat room if you agree with that part of what he said, a 2 if you disagree with it, a 3 if you're not sure. And while you're doing that, let me play just a little bit of music. Think about it.
Information is power. Information is power.
Okay. Let's get at it right now. Let's look at what people have put in the chat room in the survey. Let's see what the survey says. And let's get at it right now. And do me the biggest favor and make sure everybody in the chat room. What's going on, Jay Sean? I see you out there, brother. Good to see you over here tonight. Thank you for coming over. Make sure that you subscribe to the program. Make sure that you subscribe. I really appreciate that. If you can subscribe, you see the symbolism up there, and share this video tonight throughout your social media, because I would definitely appreciate that if you can, if you would do that. I definitely appreciate that. Okay, everybody, I appreciate that. And let's go back over here. So let's see. The survey says, let me scroll back up so I can get a good look at what everybody put in the chat room there. Oh, I got a super chat. Okay, so basically, let me just do this. It looks like a lot of people are putting a 1 for, let me see, 1 is for, man, I'm mixing myself up now. 1 was for you agree with them, or 1 or 2 was for you didn't agree. Let me see something. So it looks like, yeah, 1 was you didn't agree. Yeah, so a lot of people did not agree with what Obama was saying at that portion of the video. And some people did agree, and there were just a few people that were not sure. And I got a couple of super chats, and I'm sorry about that. We got Mr. Male Advice in the household tonight. Check him out, DY, Mr. Male Advice, DIY. Excellent brother here. He says, peace, brother information man. Peace to you, brother. Check out his channel. We got Jack A, who's come in saying peace information man with the $2.99 super chat. And you know what that means, everybody. You know I love the super chat. And I love when you guys super chat me because I can do this. Woo!
Tell them run it off. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip this. Wet. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, thumbs down now. Check, no drip this. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe.
All right, everybody. Thank you for the super chat. I had to super chat both those folks because I love doing that, and I appreciate them coming over and super chatting a brother like that. Appreciate it definitely much. So let me get back into the presentation. So let me play another area of the presentation that I have all set up for you to listen to right now. This one won't be as long as the first one, and let's get into it right now, and here we go.
Democrats owe black people specifically.
Let me stop this right here. Charlemagne asked Obama specifically what the Democrat Party owes black people specifically after doing what we did in this current election, this past election, and I'm going to put up the numbers of where we voted in comparison to other ethnic groups, and here we go with the audio.
So one last question. What do Democrats owe black people specifically, do you think? Especially after what we just did in this past election.
Well, I think that Democrats and Republicans and America owe black folks the same thing that all people are owed, which is justice and fairness. The difference is that for black folks, that justice has been deferred and denied for too long, or it's been half insufficient. We've never done a full reckoning. Black folks,
right back.
That justice has been deferred and denied for too long, or it's been half baked and insufficient. We've never done a full reckoning of what was part of the essential history and building of this country. And I think in concrete terms, I don't want to overstate what Joe and Kamala are going to be able to accomplish in this congressional environment with that much resistance, because they're going to be in a...
Let me stop that right there. Even when Charlemagne asked Obama what they owe, he didn't give any specifics. It was all this crap about, well, in this climate, I don't know what they're going to be able to do for black people, or what they're going to be able to do because they're in this climate right now, which may be worse than the climate that I was in when I was president. That's what he's going to later on say, right? And then he's going to say, well, black people are owed what everybody else is owed. That's not the goddamn question. That is not the question. The question ain't about what other people are owed. It's about what we are owed. As you can see on the statistical chart by race, ethnic, and gender, black men, according to the most updated polls, voted for Biden and Kamala Harris 87%. It wasn't, and only 12% for Donald Trump. It wasn't 18% was false. Those numbers went down. Black women voted for Joe Biden at 93%, while white women voted for Joe Biden at 46%. You see? White men only voted for Joe Biden at 39%, while both white women and white men who seem to be on the same page with each other, working as a team, voted for Trump. 59% for the men, for white men, 52% for white women. Latinos voted for Biden at 59%, 39% for Trump. 66% of Latino females voted for Biden, and 32% of Latino women voted for Trump. And all the quote-unquote other races, since the Democrats and all the people in this society today keep telling us that it's about people of color, all these other people of color voted for Donald Trump at the sums of 39% up to 58% for Joe Biden. Now, the other could be possibly, if I'm not mistaken, people that they would consider as independents, I guess, okay? But clearly you can see on the chart that it is quite obvious that black people have outvoted for the Democratic Party more than any other group in this country. And when Barack is asked a question, he wants to get into all this philosophical crap about, well, black people are owed what everybody else is. No, we're owed what we are owed. Don't stop lumping us in with other people. And then he gives the babble again about, well, you know, I don't want to put too much pressure on them as to what they can do. No, they got to do something. Let's hear some more of this nonsense.
Position that's probably even tougher than the one that I came in. But what I can say is, I think at the very minimum, everything they put forward, from jobs programs to small business loans to education to college debt issues, that they have to be mindful that the African American community put faith in them, to hear them and to understand what ordinary folks are going through every day, working hard, trying to make it, and that they shouldn't be making a decision without knowing, all right, this is going to have an impact on some of those struggles to make people and their families a little more secure, a little bit better. It's not going to make things perfect, but if at the end of Joe Biden's presidency and Kamala's presidency, he too can say what I was able to say, which is people's lives are better. You know, at the end of the day, that's what you expect out of politicians.
Is there a morally correct way to do what Trump did?
Which is?
As far as, like, you know, catering to his base, you know, doing what he felt was best for his folks. Is there a morally correct way to do that?
Get more votes. I mean, the truth of the matter is actually Trump hasn't gotten a lot. He's torn some stuff down. He hasn't, there's no law that he's passed that is transformative in this country. He passed a tax cut to give away some more money to rich folks, which Republicans have been doing that for years.
Now, right there, I will agree with Obama on that point, that Republicans for the longest, actually, they do things that benefit the rich. They have very little policies that benefit the actual poor or working class. They always speak about small business and things of that nature. The Republicans often spend a lot of time speaking about values, but very little conversation about policies. And Obama is right. There is no real concrete, comprehensive law or policy that Donald Trump has passed that has been transformative to the point that it has benefited all people. When he gave the 1% a tax break, which we're going to feel the pain of that going into the years to come, he actually benefited the 1%, because his whole thing is we want to stimulate business. And what presidents do is they create an atmosphere to make it possible for business to be able to stimulate the economy through creating jobs, because you create an atmosphere by taking away regulations to make it easy for businesses to make money and all that commerce. That's great. So then we say that, well, the stock market is doing well. And I said earlier in this show tonight, the stock market does not translate. For those of you who need remedial classes, the stock market does not translate to Main Street, where people who are struggling out here. The people who benefit from the stock market are the 1%, 10% people who have the money, capital, and are big time investors, and corporations also benefit. It does not help the little man on the street. So he's right when he says that Trump didn't pass anything that was transformational in this country. We've heard, other than the fact that he wanted to build a wall, he wanted to give the rich 1%, and all these different things, and what have you. And don't get me caught up with that CARES Act or that stimulus money, because that stimulus money, ladies and gentlemen, was your taxes. So Trump or his administration or the Democrats, they didn't do any of us any favor. Both these political parties didn't do us any favor, because that's basically our tax dollars. They're over there fighting over how much money to give us for a second stimulus, when that's our tax dollars. What are they fighting over? Give us our money. You gave banks $1 trillion a day when this whole virus broke out. So I'm bringing that up because I have to admit that Barack made a valid point there, but it still doesn't change the fact that he ain't answering questions as it directly impacts us. Let's can hear some more of this.
But you can't name a piece of legislation that he's done that has actually changed the country, even for his own constituencies. So it's always easier to tear down than build up. Building up, that requires votes. And that's why I will come on this show every time if I hear folks say voting doesn't matter. Yeah, voting will not, it's not like winning the lottery. You don't vote and then suddenly everything is great. Voting is more like, washing your car or ironing your clothes. It's part of the thing you do to make stuff work. And it's part of your responsibility, and it's part of all of our responsibility, just to make sure that we don't see chaos of the sort that we've just seen over the last 4 years.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that's the last audio. I do have a video that I'm going to play you. It's a very short video near the end of tonight, which will put a crescendo on everything for me. Let me just say this. Mr. Production, I don't have a problem with you being a Trump fan. You have a difference of a political opinion. I don't have a problem with that. You have the right to give your opinion respectfully, of course. But once again, I'm just saying, this ain't about me putting up no flag for Trump. I don't have a flag for the Republicans. I don't have a flag for the Democrats. I'm more of an independent kind of person. I'm just saying that I've done videos where I've gotten in the behind of Trump. I've done videos on my channel where I've talked about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So I don't have a problem. I'm an equal opportunity get your you-know-what. I will critique any of these political individuals, politicians, I don't care what their color are. I'm going to critique them because my channel is about truth.
Tell the truth.
And I'm going to stay that way. Nothing's going to change that. Now, you heard everything that Obama said. Now, let's get into the meat and bones of where I want to go with my presentation tonight. Now, remember I told you, everybody, that Obama goes it alone, shelving out to 5 million, allowing 5 million immigrants, shielding 5 million immigrants from deportation. That was the whole DACA program. So what I'm saying to you is, when Obama speaks about black people, when Charlemagne asked him very clearly, about the Democrats owing black people. Once again, Obama wants to get into all this, well, we got to make coalitions. Well, they may not be able to do what we want them to do because they're up against all these forces, and I don't want to hear that nonsense. That's just another way to tell us you ain't going to get nothing, so deal with it. The bottom line is that Obama had no problem helping other groups during his presidency. He put up money, he put up a program to protect illegal immigrants who came over here illegal. I don't know anywhere in the world where you can come into a country illegally and you can claim that you're going to stay there and that you expect to be given amnesty to stay there when you snuck in the country and broke the laws. Not because you were really running away from something, but you just wanted to come in and take advantage of a situation for your favor. If any of us in the chat room were to go to another country and sneak in that country and they identified us, they're getting rid of us. I don't see any of these administrations giving amnesty to the black Cubans that come over in Florida who they bring back to Cuba, right? When other people who look like us come to this country under circumstances, fleeing from somewhere, they send them right back. When you have right now, in the Ivory Coast area, Senegal area of Africa, that region of Africa, you had thousands of black men leaving from Africa, and they were on rafts and boats, and they went into Italy. I think it was Italy, if I'm not mistaken. And the Italian government rounded them all up for deportation back to the continent, back to their country in the continent of Africa. You see, there was no, so other countries don't play this kind of stuff. And when our brothers and sisters from the continent come over here illegally, however, like in Florida, they get sent back. There is no DACA program that's been designed for them. But Obama was right behind it. Now, another thing I'm going to put up here on the screen. Let me go back up here. This is the man that we had all our hopes and dreams in, some of us. He's already making excuses for the Biden administration, what they may not be able to do. He's already making those excuses. Let me do something right here. All right. Let me see, ladies and gentlemen. He's already making excuses for the Biden. Something I'm trying to put on the screen's not coming up, but I'm going to move on to the next thing. There we go. So let me try to get this off the screen. Hang on, folks. As I was saying before, he's already making excuses for the Biden administration, what they can do and what they can't do. And we're not going to take that. Black folks, we can't take that. We can't take that. We're not going to take that nonsense. Now, look right here. Candidate Obama keeps his promise to the Native Americans. Have you ever... Listen, look at how they coined this. President Obama keeps his word to the Native Americans. President Obama at the White House Tribal National Conference kept his promise. You see, they're draping him in some Native American cloth or some outfit because he kept his promise as to what he was going to do for the Native American people. And I'm not hating on Obama for this. I'm just showing you all how he had no problem helping other people. President Obama campaigned hard in 2008 for the votes for American Indians. He vowed that his administration, when have you ever heard Obama vow what he was going to do for black people? He vowed that his administration would pay special attention to their grievances about the federal mismanagement and the government's reoccurrent neglect of treaties, obligations, few have been ignored by Washington. They have been ignored by Washington for as long as Native Americans have been around here. The first Americans, it says here, the first Americans. He told the Crow Nation in Montana, he promised a change. He flushed forward to his week. Mr. Obama attended an 8th and final White House tribute to a national conference and annual summit meeting of the Indian leaders. So what he did is, before he got out of office, ladies and gentlemen, is that he basically gave them money, right? $492 million in lawsuit settlement with 17 American Indian tribes for allegedly federal government mismanagement of their funds and their land. The government holds more than 100,000 leases and management of these tribal, which we call reservations. So Obama, he lived up to his promise, and he gave the Native Americans some money. Now, when it came to Jewish people, Obama administration earmarked $12 million for Holocaust survivors, funds that will be distributed over 5 years, $250,000, United States victims of Nazi prosecution living under poverty lines. So these were Jewish people living in poverty in America who were victims of a Holocaust that didn't even happen in America. It happened in Germany. However, we know that Wall Street had investments in the Holocaust. We know that IBM Computer was the computer company that created the numbers that they put on the people's bodies before they became this big giant computer company. So IBM was responsible for that. So maybe that's how Jewish people were able to make claim to money, because of the investment that the United States had from the Wall Street point of view into the Holocaust in Germany. But as you can see on the screen, that's what Obama did for this particular group. Now, let me put up something else. Once again, this is in the Washington Post. Obama budget includes a $1 billion for Native American education. The President Obama budget request will include $1 billion for American Indian schools next year, including millions of dollars to regenerate crumbling buildings and connect remote classrooms via broadband internet. The proposed administration office officials announced this week would add another $150 million to current funding levels for the Bureau of Indian Education. Now, did you know that the Native American tribes get $1 billion, about around $1 billion a year from the United States government? They're also getting 40 billions of dollars, I think $1.2 billion, maybe $3 billion when it comes to dealing with the healthcare issues with Native Americans. So Obama had no problem with giving the natives money, and I'm not saying that they didn't deserve the money, that they weren't owed the money. The fact of the matter is, he had no problem with giving it to them. He did not tell Native Americans, well, you know, I got to do something for other people. I got to make coalitions. I got to work with these people. So whatever I do will eventually trickle down to you guys, but I can't give you a direct payment now. I can't put your issues front and center. No, he put their issues front and center. Now, when it came to the LGBTQ, remember when they did the lighting of the White House? You've never seen them put any red, black, and green for Africa or Pan-Africanism. You've never seen them put any colors for Black Power. You haven't even seen them put any colors on the White House as it relates to Black Lives Matter. You haven't seen them do any of this kind of stuff, but under the Obama administration, he lit up the White House to the LGBT, which the alphabet has expanded itself now, activist Obama will always be a champion as the gay community sees him. And look at what he did to the White House. He lit it up. He really had it. He had it going on, folks. They had it going on. Black America. So gay people got what they wanted out of Obama. They were very happy because you had a Supreme Court ruling, and out of that celebration, they lit the White House up, and Obama changed his mind, changed his position as it relates to gay marriage, and he was involved in approving it and celebrating it and recognizing their humanity and giving the gay community what they wanted. Okay, he never he never put them to the side, told them to be quiet. Wait, we got to figure out what we can do for other people before we do something for you. He just did it, folks, and there was no questions. There was no questions asked about this when it came to Barack and these issues. So you see that right there. Native American tribes got what they wanted out of the brother, while black people in America, we lost so much under Barack when it came to our economics, our home, our wealth, right? While other people were gaining, we were losing. And that's why I say to you tonight that we don't need a political party. We need a black agenda. A black agenda will equalize any political party, because if any political party comes to us, ladies and gentlemen, we simply say to the Republicans or the Democratic Party, what are you going to do for black people? What's your black agenda? What is your black agenda? What are you going to do for us in housing? What are you going to do for us in education? You gave Native Americans tons of money to build up their education. What are you going to do for us? Yeah, we know that Barack gave some money to HBCUs. Not every black person is in a HBCU. Not even every black person is going to go to college. Some people may go into skilled trades. So the purpose of what I'm saying tonight is he had no problem with giving to other people while making black people set back in the cuts like this. What's going on, underrated darkness? Jay Sean, I see you, brother. Peace to you. Be the difference is hanging in there with me tonight. Everybody's hanging in there with me tonight. I appreciate that. Coogin is hanging in there with me tonight. While black people are setting back in the cuts like this. Barack Obama is doing this for other groups. Now, this is what he got to say to black people. Check this out. Remember Obama said that the reason why black men were going to vote for Donald Trump, or it appeared that black men were going to vote for Donald Trump overwhelmingly over the Democratic Party, was because Obama says this. This was in the either the Washington Post or USA Today News. You can look this up. This highlight, this headline. Obama says that the bling and the women and the money and the rap music could explain Trump's increased appeal to some rappers and black male voters. Now, you know how insulting that is?
Tell the truth.
To tell black men that the reason why we're thinking about voting for Trump was because of we're listening to rappers, and that because rappers are into the bling and we're into the women, that rappers are into this and we as black men are the same. That was an insulting statement, just like the statement that Barack Obama made when he went to Morehouse and told those black men at Morehouse to stop complaining. Stop whining. What the hell would they be complaining about? They've achieved one of the biggest things you can achieve, which is to get a college education. But Obama went there and made statements that were insulting to black men at Morehouse some years. Remember those years ago? And then he turns around during this current election saying that, well, black men are thinking about voting for Trump because we're into the bling and the women. The rap music is having an increased appeal for black male voters. Bull crap. Bull crap. I call BS on Obama. I call BS on him because I just put up the chart. I'm going to put it up again. Here we go. Hopefully that chart will come on up there. There we go. There goes the chart. Here's the chart. I told you before. Black men voted for Joe Biden in the Democratic Party at 83%, only 12% when all the votes, everything came calculated, only 12% for Donald Trump. So 12% for Donald Trump, 87% of black men voted for Joe Biden. And whether you are a Republican or you believe in voting Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is everything that was said to black men, the ridicule that was coming on us from the Democratic Party to even some of our black women out there that were criticizing us, to even Obama once again telling us, making a negative statement about us, which he had no business saying. He needs to eat his crow. Everybody needs to eat crow because black men overwhelmingly still voted Democratic. So a lot of people need to be eating some crow here, you see. And it's just some BS, Obama.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, yes, we can, but you need to stop saying things when you don't know what you're talking about, Obama. Black men overwhelmingly still voted democratically. And that is the truth. While you're setting up here saying that it's the rap music, it's all this other stuff that made us vote for Trump, you were completely a buffoon for saying that because that is not true. And I got the chart up there for everybody to see. Now, let's go. And this is the man. This is the man, Barry, this is the man that we believed in. Barry, we really believed in Barry. We had a lot of hopes and dreams in him, hope, keep hope alive, as Jesse Jackson would say. And he comes out with his book trying to give his babble, explaining away why he didn't do this and he couldn't do that. We know that the Republican Party was doing everything they could to get in the way of Obama in his presidency. But there was still things that Obama should have done for black people directly that could have been more transformational for our life in this country that he did not quite completely do. And I got to be honest when we look at that. Now, what I do see is a Obama who criticizes us, as you see right here, as I put up that again. And here's another one. Do you guys remember this? Obama calls Baltimore rioters thugs. He says the entire country has work to do. President Obama called on the nation Tuesday to engage in a soul searching following riots in Baltimore sparked off by what is said was the latest troubling encounter between a police officer and an African-American man. The reason why you had riots in Baltimore is because the Baltimore police, which is a corrupt police department, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this, okay, if you didn't know that, you know it now.
Yes, we can.
Black men and black people went buck wild in Baltimore because they were tired of the oppression of the police department, and that's why they took to the streets and did what they did. And Obama called them thugs. But you notice this year, with all the stuff that's been happening in the streets with white people out there in the streets, you notice nobody calls Kyle Rittenhouse a thug after he went out there and did what he did. He's getting bail money. But Obama called black men in this community a thug. I've got a problem with that. Okay? Fundamentally, I have a problem with that. And then to add more insult to injury, for those of you who are Pan-African, who believe in Marcus Garvey, you love Marcus Garvey. I remember before Obama left office, there was a big move to get Marcus Garvey a pardon. He never, because Marcus Garvey was kicked out of the country. He couldn't come in the country. They criminalized him. And his son, let me put this on the screen for you to see. his son. Obama leaves the White House without giving a pardon to black nationalist Marcus Garvey. Julius Garvey, the son of Marcus Garvey, the activist who spearheaded Back to Africa movement, Obama, even when he was being lobbied to do so, did not give a presidential pardon to Marcus Garvey, while Donald Trump is giving pardons to all of his criminal friends, all of his criminal cronies. Obama couldn't even give a pardon to a black man who was really trying to do something for black people. He was not a criminal on the level at all of the men that Trump is giving a pardon to today. But Obama, in his last steps in office, his last time in law office, days in office, he was being lobbied and did not have the respect. And I know why he doesn't have the respect, because Obama is not ADOS. He's not foundational. He doesn't have the lineage of being here. He has a lineage that is not an ADOS or a black foundational lineage. He does not come from the lineage of people who were on slave plantations or black people who were native and already here. He does not have that foundation. The closest thing that Barack got to having that foundation was being married to Michelle Obama, who is foundational. That's the closest thing that Obama got to it. So he didn't grow up the way the average black person grew up. He was raised by his two white grandparents. He was raised overseas in Indonesia. He was raised in an island place called Hawaii. That's a part of America. Yes, it is. Okay. He was raised in these kind of environments.
Yes, we can.
He was not raised in the way a lot of us who are foundational were raised, with that sort of sense and understanding of our history. So therefore, he could not understand the importance, really, of why Marcus Garvey should have gotten a presidential pardon from him. And that, to me, is a shame, Obama, a shame.
Yes, we can.
Love, okay, we got Obama is sick, confused. Let me see. Jay Sean says he showed his true loyalty. Obama is loyal to right. You're right, Jay Sean. So that's what was going on, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, we put our hopes and dreams in Obama. We thought that things were going to be different with Obama. We thought we would get a different result. And what it taught me personally is that no matter what the person's color is, you can't really believe in politicians. You really can't put all your eggs in one basket with these political parties or these political politicians, because they will disappoint you every time. Okay? You can only trust yourself. And I'm going to say this again. Black people need a black agenda, not a political party. That has been a disaster for us. Putting your faith in these political parties do you no good. You must put your faith in what you want. What is your agenda? And no matter which one of these political parties coming and knocking at your door, you say, we want A, B, and C. If you don't give us A, B, and C, you're not getting our votes. Goodbye. We don't need people like Clyburn, buck dancing, and capitulating all this stuff. When he was asked on television, what do you want from Joe Biden? And he sat up there and says, well, I don't want nothing from Joe Biden. I just want my kids to be well and live a good life and all that kind of stuff, but never said what he expected of Joe Biden to do for black people now that he helped Joe Biden, along with black folks in this country, to get in office. Now, there's a story running around right now where Clyburn's complaining and saying that Joe Biden hasn't made enough black appointments. He's disappointed. All that cooning around and cornbreading around and buck dancing around, he's now saying he's a little disappointed in the fact that he hasn't put enough black people in appointments. I'm going to say to you right now, I don't care how many people Joe Biden puts in his cabinet or in his administration. That still ain't black tangibles. That still ain't a black agenda. Just because you put a black person in a position, that's going to help. That's good for them, but that ain't good for the masses of people. All this good, feel good, emotional, spiritual, feel good symbolism crap, that's not what we need. We need real tangibles, real programs, real progress, real programs that are tailored to what we need, what we want. We don't need this all ties, lift boats crap. We don't need that. So let me see before I get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming over and participating tonight. And I'm going to put this on the screen once more again to remind you. Put that down there. Take that off to remind you that number 11, choose candidates for public office who will be subservient and obedient to your command so they may be readily used as a pawn in our game. This is the political game, folks. Use the press for propaganda to control all outlets of public information while remaining in the shadow, clear of blame. This is another game that they play. Make the masses believe they have been the prey of criminals, then restore order to appear as the savior. These are some of the games that is played on us in this world we call America, and it has not changed, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do this because this is very important right here. I've been on a campaign about black fathers, the importance of black fathers, and I want to say that black fathers are very, very, very important. Let's not forget. Let me go right into here real quick. Let's not forget that black fathers work hard like anyone else. Black fathers take care of their children like anyone else. We are dedicated to our children. Not every black man who has children is an absent father, absentee father. We work with our children. You see the brother there with his son. We enjoy our time with our children. There are black men out here that are doing the right thing when it comes to their kids. Not all of us are dusty, musty, and crusty. Some of us actually do what is right for our children. And I just want people to know that black men are hardworking like anyone else. We put a hard hat on. We put a suit on. We work hard too. And I don't want anybody to forget that. With that said, let me go back to my last part of my presentation tonight. I realize I have a video to show you, and I want you to definitely do me the biggest favor and subscribe to the program. Definitely would appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe. And this is what we need to keep in mind when it comes to Barack Obama. Let me see if I can find this right quick. Let me put some music on, and I'll be right back with you in just a moment. I want to see if I can find something that I need to show you before we go anywhere tonight. Before we end the program tonight, I'm sorry.
Yeah, empty bottles of red wine laying on the floor from last night. We got a little drunk, yeah. Now I'm a little numb. Spending hours by your bedside, talking till it's dark out somehow. Can get you off my mind. Don't wanna say goodbye, bye, bye, bye. Maybe we should take it slow. I don't feel too comfortable jumping into something new right now. Yeah, I don't really know anymore how to feel something again. Think I'm just scared of falling. Don't wanna go all in. I don't really know anymore how to be more than your friend. Think I'm just scared of falling. sun rises. Cause I ain't got the time, yeah, can't tell another lie. And baby, I know you want more than this, but you know I can't afford your kiss. So I'm staying for the night, but then I gotta say goodbye, bye, bye. Maybe we should take it slow. I don't feel too comfortable jumping into something new right now. I don't really know anymore how to feel something again. Think I'm just scared of falling. Don't wanna go all in.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the video. I want you, this will be a crescendo for the program tonight. It kind of lays out some of the things that I was saying today. This is a program on Al Jazeera. It's not a long video. It's about 3 minutes and 20 seconds, but I think it's further asks some of the questions that I've been asking tonight, that we've been talking about tonight, that I want you to hear before I end the program. So this is the breaking news that I want everyone to hear at this time. And here we go.
President Obama did many good things, from healthcare to the stimulus to action on climate change. But on the crucial issue that some would argue defined his time in office, especially his arrival in office, the financial crisis, the housing crisis, he let down working people in many ways, especially people of color. You were housing secretary in his second term. You're well aware of the fact that Obama and his administration pledged, allocated, I think something like more than 5 times as much money to bailing out the banks who caused the crisis as they did to bailing out ordinary homeowners who lost their homes through no fault of their own.
There's no question that there was a bailout that happened, right? It's also true, though, that administration, that the Obama administration ended up investing more in everyday Americans trying to save their homes, trying to rebuild their communities. At HUD, there were several programs that either were allocated more money, like community development block grants, home funding, new programs during that time. Neighborhood stabilization program is a good example, that basically pumped more money into communities across the country that wouldn't have happened if you had had somebody else in office. Were there things, that could have been done to put more resources?
Well, you say more resources. He pledged to spend between $50 and $100 billion from the bailout fund when he came to office to help homeowners. 8 years later, his administration had only spent $21 billion. Why not spend more when that was the pledge?
Tell the truth.
It wasn't as if Republicans were blocking you from spending that money. That money was already devoted.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, I don't think that you can look at any president and say that they batted 1,000. But I will say that President Obama did much more than so many other presidents that we've seen. And did we hit the mark on everything? Of course not.
Yes,
but when you look at what we have today... I guess
if you're a black family losing your home, or a Latino family losing your home, and they lost homes at much higher rates, as you know, than white families, the fact that Obama did a better job than George W. Bush or Donald Trump would have done doesn't really help you.
I don't think that's true, actually. I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because it does make a difference. When you go into the voting booth and you're making a decision between two people, it is, I think, the wrong way to view things to say, well, these folks are the same as these folks. One of the challenges that we have is this throwing up of the hands to say that everything is 50-50, everything is equal. That's not true.
That wasn't the point I was making, but you're right. There is a sense that, they're all the same. But isn't the problem that in theory you're correct, clearly, but in reality, as you yourself mentioned at the start of the interview, a lot of people didn't turn out to vote in some of those areas that Obama won in 2012 and 2008 because they thought, well, my life hasn't improved that much under Obama. In fact, in some ways it's got worse. Black wealth did not improve under the first black president as a result partly of the housing crisis.
Wait. Let's back that up a second, right? Black wealth was decimated by 2/3 because of the housing crisis. And President Obama forthrightly pushed for investment in urban communities.
Yes, we can.
I'm telling you right now, you could see that Democratic, he's pretty well known. He's a guy. He's another one that they think is going to be a big candidate in the future as well. But you could tell when the guy from Al Jazeera asked some very tough questions, you can tell he tensed up because he was having a hard time answering the questions, the very critical questions that the gentleman was asking him. And you could tell that he was, once again, babbling on to kind of make excuses for the fact that it is correct. This is not something that I'm making up. Other people have examined this, that black people did lose wealth, that we got hit hard. There was no poverty for us, did not improve under Obama during his full 8 years. I know things were tough during the first few years because of the economy was bad due to the Republicans being the contributors to that. But I do know, or they were the primary of that. But black people still suffered to a certain degree under his administration economically. And that cannot be denied. And even my daughter says no to that.
No!
Yes. What do you think again about that, young lady? Huh? What did you say again?
No!
No? Why would you say no? Would you say no that he didn't? What?
No!
Okay, then. I mean, come on, young lady. I mean, what are you saying?
No!
Okay, no. So I just got to be honest with you all tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Barack Obama. You're listening to Information Man. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the show.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
And Back to the Basics just gave me a super chat. If I missed anybody's super chat, let me call some folks out here. We got people are hanging with me tonight, and I appreciate that. We got Be The Difference Clothing. We got Monique Hill, who's in the house. RY is in the house. Dizzo is in the house. She says, it's cool, Joy. This was good. Okay. Thank you. Jay Sean Rand. Oh, Jay Sean is another brother. I want to let you guys know that this is a brother that supports my Patreon. So he actually is a supporter of what you're seeing tonight in terms of I take all donations and I put them back into the quality of the program. Okay. So I appreciate that. I am brother Jay Sean is in the chat room. Check out his channel because I still do need to get him on the channel and do the interview with him as well as other people that I've been saying. Don't be surprised. I'll be knocking at your door soon. But check him out. He's a good brother. He tells it like it is. He's a brother he's a father as well. And he lives over across seas. And he's just a good brother, and I really appreciate him coming through tonight. I know it's late for him where he is. Earl Owens, I appreciate you. Real Aaron Collins, I appreciate you. Back to the Basics, I appreciate you. RY, I appreciate you. And many others. Marlo's Music Corner music channel, check him out too. I appreciate you, brother. Love and Nubian, I appreciate you. Everybody that's come through, I appreciate you. But now I've got to give some respect where respect is due. Because the one and only Back to the Basics just super chatted me. And here we go. Yeah, super chat. Yeah.
Trying to run it up. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was definitely what we needed. Thank you again for the super chat by and from Back to the Basics. I really appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap. I'm pretty much wrapping up my presentation tonight. I think I've done all that I could do about this subject matter. I gave you audio on Obama. We listened to the audio. He was saying a lot of things that I have to question. You would have to question it yourself if you really be honest with yourself and really listen to that interview and really realize that Obama said everything, but he did not say what we call a damn thing. And then I showed you examples of actual news articles where he was helping other people directly. I showed you the Al Jazeera interview where they were questioning, hey, Obama, there was some problems with black wealth during his particular period as it relates to housing and property in these kind of areas. Now, as I said before, I recognize that Obama, like no other president, was under a lot of pressure. He came into the presidency under really bad circumstances because the Republicans handed him a bad economy. I get it. But what I'm talking about tonight is really about what he did specifically for black people, not this whole thing about what he did for other people and let's trickle it down. I'm sick of that. We don't need that kind of politics. We need real informative change, and that's what we need. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight with me. And once again, black fathers are very important. And remember, as I said before, Jesse Jackson was the lineage to this. As I said to you, John Hanson was the first. Some say he was the first president doing back in the 1800s. Check out John Hanson in the 1800s. But many would say that Jesse Jackson in 1984 and his run in 1988, as I said in the beginning of my program, was sort of the blueprint that helped get Barack Obama into the presidency. And believe me or not, if you go back and look at the history, remember Jesse Jackson had some harsh words about Obama. Matter of fact, he got caught on on audio saying that he would cut his you-know-what's off. Because you got to understand, when Barack Obama came on the scene, ladies and gentlemen, he did not get the blessing of the black establishment. It was not the black establishment. What is the black establishment? That would be the Jesse Jacksons of the world, the civil rights movement of the world, the congressional black caucuses of the world, Charles Ringo, all those members of the black caucus, members of this class, the black establishment, the bourgeoisie, whatever you want to call it. They did not give Barack Obama their blessing. He didn't come through that movement. So I sensed that even though you saw Jesse Jackson cry in Chicago when Obama came out with his children, his family, while he felt joy, I think deep down inside, Jesse Jackson really wanted to be the first quote-unquote black president. And deep down inside, he realized this Negro Barack Obama, he didn't really get our blessing. But because he had some choice things about Barack. And remember, Cornel West and Travis Smiley, they had a lot of criticism for Barack Obama. And remember, a lot of us, we sort of brushed them off. I certainly did too. We criticized them for coming out and talking about Barack. But when I look back on it in retrospect, Cornel West and Travis Smiley were 100% correct. And some of us who did not believe what they were saying or didn't want to hear it because we were caught up in the hope and change scam of Barack Obama, we got caught up in the imagery, in the emotions of a black man being in the White House and a black family. We forgot that there were actually other black families who were going through hell, as you see on this picture, that were struggling. We were too busy worrying about the family in the White House, making sure one black family is doing well, being happy that they were in the White House, but not recognizing that black people that were in this house on the picture were struggling, losing their economics, losing their wealth, and in some cases, losing their homes. And that poverty within the black community, I'm going to put this up again, was going up over these years. You see the chart right there. You see it right there. So these are the realities that we need to recognize and not deny. So I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I'm going to get off and end the show right now. I'll be back on again very soon. Make sure you check out my podcast channel, The Information Man Speaks Podcast. That's my second channel. Stroll down my YouTube page, and you'll see the second channel. Go over there, subscribe, check out my content over there if you haven't. I usually upload content over there more frequently because it's a podcasting channel, more frequently than I'm doing over here. So I may drop a video tomorrow or the next day. I drop them. And most of the videos are pre-produced videos. So that channel will be mostly pre-produced videos. And every blue moon, I'm going to go live over there. But I'm trying to build that channel up with a lot of content and try to do it the old-fashioned way by producing and uploading pre-produced videos for your enjoyment. So everybody, peace to you. Thank you for being here. Real Aaron Collins, RY. I know it's late for everybody across the country. Thank you for being here. If you are new to the channel and you just came into the channel tonight at this moment, make sure you subscribe because it won't hurt you.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Okay. Don't leave this channel. Don't leave this channel without subscribing to both this channel and the second channel, The Information Man Speaks Podcast. You can also catch me on all the different platforms, the Spotify, the Google, the Anchor, SoundCloud as well. And what I'm doing is that I'm putting different material on those traditional platforms that I named: Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, all of that. Tune in. It's all different material. I don't want to put material that's the same thing that's on this channel or the second podcasting channel. I want you to have a different experience in 3 platforms with the Information Man. I appreciate you all. I love you. Thank you, Earl Owens. You're the best. Alex Christian, you're the best. Vaughn 11, you're the best. Cooljan 87, you're the best. Back to the Bases is the best. Big UNK, you're the best. Thank you for saying it's great content. My brother, Mr. Male Advice. Now, let me tell you about Mr. Male Advice. I would like everybody at some point in time, write his name down, go over to his channel, check out his content. This guy makes, this brother, he is my Caribbean brother. That brother is powerful. Got nothing but respect for look, I'm going to keep it 100% real. I've got respect for my brothers and sisters in the diaspora of the world. Even if I have difference of opinions about certain things living here in America as it relates to brothers and sisters that were born here. But that does not negate my respect for my brothers and sisters in the diaspora of the world, whether it be Africa or in the Caribbean, because I know that they have a struggle and a battle that they're fighting as well, and I support whatever their battle is, right? 100%. But check out his channel. This man, he makes incredible things with his hands. And it's just incredible. And his channel is blowing up anyway. Okay? So give him the respect of subscribing to his channel. Go watch some of his videos. You will be amazed. You might want to get in contact with him and have him make something for someone, for a present, a child. I mean, the man is amazing. And that is Mr. Male Advice DIY. So check him out when you can. We got Daywalker, who's just coming to the house. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Share this video in all your social media. Do it. Because if you don't, my young one's going to get you.
No!
Yes. So here we go, folks. We're out of here. I appreciate it. Good night. Peace to you. And make sure you like this video and share it in your social media. Thank you. Peace.
Information is power.
Tell the truth. Peace.
casually keep diving into concrete. So bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. They just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. And maybe just a better kind of bitter.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Baby, ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. Keep driving into concrete. So bittersweet.
Information is power.
Huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. And maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. And maybe just a better kind of bitter.
Information is power.
Issues, I know I got issues. Hate you, then I miss you again. Selfish, I can be so selfish. Spend more time when meeting your friends. Please forgive my attitude. I want my cake and eat it too. But a little grace would be enough for me to prove that, baby, you're the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you, with you. Crutches, I be holding crutches, can't let go of any mistakes. Distant, sometimes I distant, stay away as long as it takes. Forgive my attitude, I need my cake and eat it too.
No! No!
No, I really can't complain.
Information is power.
Wave. I'm in it for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace. Beat fruit with the bare face and a slick tongue, that's what she say. She look good, she a big tease when she bite lip with the wink face. Hella bad when she throwing it back. She bring that my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I padded my stat. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James off the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force. If I run his fade, then you ask for it. Niggas cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show needed passport, cause the beat bounced to the cap torn. Feel like I live it, fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit, got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Spoke how I live it into existence. Might be ahead of myself, but the bank account did jump up a couple figures. Feel like nobody could fuck with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill, the space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave. No, I really can't complain.
Information is power.
I've been on the wave. When everything I say turn into the real thing. I tell her run it up, cause you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums, the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave. When everything I'm saying turn into the real thing. I've been living like I'm famous. Like I don't show my face, as I'm jumping on the stage. Like I'm living in a daydream. Lost in imagination. She only want me when she fake. She quick to tell me I'm a favorite. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone off the deep end, pull up every weekend. I hate to let her down, but I'm in a fast life, so you never slowing me down. Heart rate dropping like a no sleep out. How you switch up, you always help me down. Wonder why I turn into a cold of me now. It could be worse, right? I got where I'm at without no work-life balance. You tell me that it's love, but I'm knowing that it's malice. Squad with me, God, cut us from the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave. But everything I say turn into the real thing. Tell them run it up, now you know it ain't a thing. We made it out of slums with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the wave. But everything I'm saying turn into the real thing.